Evening all. I wasn't going to do a reading, and I'm not going to do a reading tonight. Instead, I'm going to tell you the story of Pandora's box. And there's no particular reason for it other than the fact that since I opened this box of cards that was gifted to me yesterday, and since I saw this particular card, which is the Tower, depicted by Pandora's box, it's been going around and around and around my head. The story of Pandora's box. And as it's New Year's Eve and after midnight we're in a completely different year, I think the story is quite apt. So if you watched the video that I did when one of the cards reminded me of Prometheus, it's a Greek myth. Prometheus was an immortal who was procured by Zeus to make mankind out of clay. And he made mankind out of all different colours of clay. He moulded it all together with Zeus's spit, and it was the breath of Athena that brought them all to life. The one condition that Zeus had was that the mankind would never, ever get their hands on fire and learn how to use fire. But Prometheus went against that, and Zeus's wrath was vile. And Prometheus' punishment was to be tied to a rock, and as Prometheus was immortal, he would have his liver torn out every single day by vultures for all eternity. But that punishment didn't end there. Zeus also instructed Hephaestus, also immortal, to create a female, because all the people that Prometheus produced were all male. There were no females at this time. And Hephaestus created a female. And this female was for punishment, for the punishment of man, for having the audacity to use the fire. And Zeus knew that no matter what vengeance he took, that man would ever evolve into until no more prayers would be sent up to heaven, and man would no longer need the gods. Technology would be such that man would turn away from their prayers up to heaven. So, modelled on Aphrodite and Hera and Athena and many other great goddesses, Hephaestus set to work. All the other gods bestowed her with the gifts that they represented. Demeter, the earth mother. Hestia, the goddess of hearth and home. Athena, the arts of crafts and embroidery and all that sort of thing. And she was absolutely stunning. All who saw her fell breathless at her beauty. And she was given a name, all gifted. In Greek, that name is Pandora. Hephaestus gave her a container filled with secrets. And Zeus told her that she should never open it. She was never told it was full of secrets. And Hermes took her to the home of Epimetheus, who is Prometheus's brother. And he was told that she was going to be his bride. And along with her came this container. And they got married, and they adored each other, had such a wonderful time. But all the time, the secrets in this box were calling to Pandora. She buried it under a sundial and thought no more about it. But then the thoughts of this box kept going and going and going. It was not knowing what was inside it. So one night she went out and she dragged it from underneath a sundial and she ripped off the lid of this container. And very quickly, all around her flew all these buzzing winged creatures swiping and biting and stinging and slashing at her. Nearby, Zeus, who had taken the form of a wolf, was watching the chaos unfold. Pandora was beside herself, and she finally managed to get the lid back on the jar, and all these winged demons flew off and went to all corners of the earth, to wherever man resided. These demons were deceit, old age, misery, blame, wars, murder, starvation, violent death, disloyalty, battles, hardship, pain, illness, anarchy, lies, quarrels, manslaughter, murder. Pandora had managed to let all the scourges of the earth out of that jar, but one winged creature remained, and that creature remained forever trapped in that jar. That creature was called Hope. Pandora is a metaphor for the challenges and difficulties of life and the optimism and resilience to overcome them. It teaches accountability for one's own actions, hope amid despair, curiosity, and the desire to push forward regardless of difficult situations. It's a balance of good versus evil and the enduring nature of man to keep hold of and hold dear: hope. In 2025, we are probably more aware of the scourges of the earth that were let out of Pandora's container in myth more than ever. And more than ever in 2025, mankind needs to find hope and needs to start sending prayers up to heaven again. May your 2025 be full of hope. Cheers. I'll see you next year.